that phase where you slowly start hating your girlfriend. That tweet took Twitter by storm about 2 weeks ago. It got up to 100,000 likes, got about 100 million impressions, which is absolutely insane. I feel like the fact that that tweet blew up that much was because guys genuinely needed an avenue to come out and talk and vent, right? And make it clear that, look, yes, men has come. It's fine. You can believe that all you want. But the truth is, women are not perfect either. What men came out to do under that thread was to explain that, look, sometimes we get tired of you guys. You guys do some things that we're like, I don't want to talk to you again. I don't see you again. The whole point of this video is to explain the major reason why this actually happens. There is one major reason why a guy gradually begins to not like his girlfriend anymore, to dislike her anymore. One major reason that almost every guy can relate to. And if you're a girl watching this video, you definitely want to watch it till the end. This video is sponsored by the Kes Shop, and I will explain to you later in the video why they are the best male clothing store you will come across in Nigeria. Now, before I get into the major reason why this happens, I have to address the fact that there are many other reasons, right? It could be due to the fact that the girl is too clingy, which realistically guys can condone clinginess a little bit more than women. Women hate clinginess way more than we do. It could also be due to the fact that the guy just got tired of the girl. That actually happens. Yes, it doesn't sound fair, but it happens, right? But the major reason why guys gradually begin to get tired of their girls is because these men have to say sorry when they are not sorry in the first place. These men have to say sorry when they are the ones being offended. Now, I'll explain this very simply so everybody understands it, right? When the relationship is in its early stages, every smart guy understands that you're dealing with a woman, not your fellow man. So you can't treat her or react to her the exact same way you would react to your bro, right? There has to be minor differences. Differences in the sense that you guys could have an altercation or an issue, right? And she's clearly at fault, but you're like, you know what? I'll be the bigger man and apologize when I am not at fault, or just let the whole thing slide and just move on because I am a man, right? Now, when this happens very early in the relationship, this is very easy to move on from, right? You guys move on, the girl is happy, you're happy, and everybody's happy, right? Everybody moves on. But the more this happens, the more this compounds, the more you guys have issues where she is clearly at fault, but the fact that she's never going to say sorry or never going to address the issue pushes you to go and try to make amends or try to fix a situation that you did not damage in the first place. A situation that she caused, right? What that builds in you as a guy is resentment. Now, the issue with the resentment that is built is, before the resentment is built, you already build attachment to the girl. So what that means is, you are attached to somebody that you resent. So you can't leave, but you hate the fact that you're staying, which is one of the worst paradoxes ever, right? Now, the craziest part about this is, it is 30% the woman's fault, but it is actually 70% the man's fault. And I know no man wants to hear this. You're like, oh, why is it always men's fault? This is actually 70% a man's fault, and I'll explain to you why. It is 30% a woman's fault because, by nature, don't get this twisted, women do not like taking accountability. By nature, right? Obviously, some women are better than others when it comes to this, but on average, they do not like being held accountable. So they could offend you and do something that is clearly offensive, right? And act like they didn't know they did it. Or gaslight you, right, into apologizing for something that you didn't do in the first place. And what this causes, like I said, is the resentment. And that's the part that's a woman's fault. It is more your fault as a man. Why? Because she did not tie your hands and your legs. All she can really do, like the worst a woman can do, is gaslight you. That's it. After that, nothing else. What I'm trying to say is, if when she begins to do these things, misbehave, you talk to her and you're like, I don't like the stuff you're doing. I think it's disrespectful, right? Or even though you don't say you don't like what she's doing, you make it clear to her that what she did right there is disrespectful or offensive, right? You make it clear and you wait to see if she, even though she doesn't say sorry, because it's not really about sorry. It's about addressing it, like seeing it as important enough to address. If she addresses it, then you'll move on. But if she doesn't, right? What happened to your legs? What happened to your legs? No, for real, like, nothing's wrong with your legs. Now, the biggest argument I have against this point I'm trying to make, because I talk to guys almost every single day on IG, right? The biggest argument I have against this is, Guy, you just they talk because if you leave one babe, you go see another babe tomorrow, we go follow talk. Because you get to a point as a guy where getting girls to like you is very effortless. Like, I'm not even trying to brag, but this is 2023. Comparing like the ease with which I can get girls to like me, or get girls to even like come and talk to me without me saying anything in 2023 compared to like 2019 is like, bro, the difference is like 20-1. It's insane. That's how big the difference is. A lot has to do with, like, obviously improving yourself. And like I've told you guys numerous of times, one of the best ways to improve yourself, right, is go to the gym and work on how you dress. And that brings us to the sponsor of today's video. The Kes Shop has been my go-to store for the best and latest urban fashion trends for a while now because of their attention to detail when it comes to the fit and fabric used in their clothes. My personal bests among their collection has to be their Ross Polo t-shirts, their Pain t-shirts, their Kem Polo, and their Garm Cloud t-shirts. These are but a handful amongst a wide range of options in t-shirts, long shirts, overshirts, jackets, linen pants, jade Birkenstock, jade side bags, cargo shorts, and so much more. To take your clothing game to the very next level, click on the first link in the description or in the comment section. Use the discount code EYECHAP, EYECHAP, and get 10% off on whatever clothing you choose. Now back to the point I was making. In as much as it is definitely way difficult, and I'll tell you right now from experience, right, it is way difficult to move on or to let a girl go when you can't get any other girls easily, right? It is way difficult to do that. But the benefits you get from leaving a girl who is disrespecting you, right, even though that's the only girl you have in your circle, right, and you're at a point where, if this babe leave me, which other babe now go like me now? I know it's hard, but I guarantee you that is always going to be the best choice that you can make. And I'm telling you, for many reasons, right? Now, the first reason is obviously the topic of this video, which is if you stay, right? Remember, you're staying because you're not staying because you're happy. You're staying because you don't have any choice but staying. And the thing with that is, let's say you guys have the argument today and you say you're sorry when realistically she's the one who's at fault. And then 2 weeks later, she's forgotten about that. She has moved on. And she just comes to you and she's having like a casual conversation and she's laughing. And she just says a little, something that's like just mild and almost inoffensive, right? And you just shout and get mad and lash out at her. She's looking at you like, who is this? Like, are you crazy? Why would you get mad at something so insignificant? Realistically, you're not getting mad at what she said. You're getting mad at the compounding things that she has said. So now she's there looking at you like, this dude is crazy. Like, why are you shouting that much for something so simple? You're so emotional. That's the first reason why you need to leave. If you don't leave, right, you're going to end up hitting a girl who you should love or who you should like, right? You don't want to stay. It, like, for both your good and the girl's good, leaving is always the best option. Now, the second reason, I'm sure everybody knows this by now, is I don't know how to get this into you guys' head. There is absolutely nothing more important to have as a man in a relationship or in an encounter with a woman than her respect. And I said encounter because it doesn't have to be dating. An encounter, period, right, is her respect. Now, let's say you confront the girl who has been offending you, right? Your girlfriend who has been offending you, and she's like, you know what, she's like, if you want to be mad then. Like, go away. You want to go now. Do you know how many guys are talking to me and stuff like that? Now, you take your leave, right? You take your leave, and let's say you guys don't talk for 3 years. Let's say you guys don't talk from like 2020 till like 2023, and then you guys bump into each other somewhere. Now, it doesn't matter what has happened within those 3 years. Let's say 2021, she met a rich guy who has been like spoiling her with money, blah, blah, blah. The respect that she has for you for leaving for 3 years, right, or 4 years, because of her disrespect, that guy who she's with, who has been spending hundreds of thousands on her head, cannot get that respect with his money. Let me say that again. The guy who she met, who is way richer than you, right? After you stop talking to her, even with all the money he has spent on her, right? I am trying to tell you right now that she still will not respect him as much as she will respect you. She still won't. Because something that guys fail to understand is your money, right, is amazing when it comes to attracting women to you. it does that effortlessly, right? You get women around you and they like you, they want to be around you. That's how it is, right? But here's the thing. If you get married to a woman, let's say she did not have money before, she's so excited, like, oh my God, this rich guy wants to end up in me. Beautiful. She gets married to you and everything is going well. In 2 years max, she settles into the knowledge that she's a rich woman. She's at a point where she's like, I'm Oga's wife. Like, I'm a rich woman. She has settled into that knowledge. When she settles into that knowledge now, your money no go dey shock am again. Your money is not going to be exciting her anymore. Listen to me. Now, the problem with this is, when your money stops exciting her, she begins to check if internally you are masculine. Because now, money is an external sign of masculinity. Being big and muscular and tall is an external sign of masculinity. But the internal signals of masculinity are your mental and emotional strength. And that is what a woman will begin to test later on in the relationship. It's never early. It's always later on. This is why, and I think I said this in a previous video, this is why rich men, very rich men, Will Smith, Steph Curry, Dr. Dre, like I can give you 10 rich men with all the money in the world, don't have their wives' respect. Because the initial euphoria, because here's the thing, when a woman meets a new man, and this happens to us as guys as well, but in this case, when a woman meets a new man, he's rich, he's tall, he's everything she's ever wanted, right? The euphoria is there. Like the first 2-3 months, she's like, oh wow, everything is perfect. She's so happy, right? She's enjoying the euphoria of a new guy and the money and the spending and the bags and the phones. That euphoria dies. The euphoria dies. And when the euphoria dies, then she begins to look at the internal makeup of what that man is. And if she checks and she tests that man, and she figures out that he's not as masculine as his money makes him look, he's not as masculine as his body and his muscles make him look, she begins to despise that man. Because respect is earned. You can't buy respect with money. You can't buy respect with money. So when you leave, right, as the broke man, and it's tough, I get that it's tough, you don't really have that many girls in your radar to talk to, it's tough, right? But I promise you, if for example you guys don't talk for 3 years or 4 years, and after 4 years you guys get to talking again, bro, I cannot explain the level of adoration and respect you have for you. I can't even explain it. I cannot explain it. It is insane. It is up, because here's the thing, she knows she's disrespecting you though. Like, I feel like that's one of the biggest mistakes that guys make. Guys think women are like oblivious. Like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know you get mad. They knew, right? They knew you would get mad. The question is, now that you're mad, what the fuck are you going to do about it? Like, what are you going to do now that you're mad? She gets, and that's just all that matters. That's all it is. So, the main point of this video is, even though, okay, let me use a guy who has more options than women. Now, it is easy when you have many. When like, if one girl stops talking to you, you have 6, you have 7, you have 8 that genuinely like you. But the point is, the fact that it is simple now, and I can easily say, you're disrespectful, I can't keep talking to you, it's not fair to me or even to you as well, right? The fact that I can say that easily now does not mean that if that happened 3 years ago or 4 years ago when I did not have as many options, I would then stay. That's insane. Your circumstances are your circumstances, right? The way you feel is the way you feel. But it should never guide the way you should act. That's what makes you a man. Like, the word man, that's what makes you a man, or at least a masculine man. You feeling some type of way, or feeling like, oh, I miss the girl, because that's normal. Like, if you really like a girl, right, and she disrespects you and you leave, you're obviously going to miss her. That's, unless you're not a human being. Missing her is absolutely normal. It's a normal way to feel. You should miss a girl who you liked, right? But missing her does not and should not really mean anything. Like, it should not mean anything in the sense that you know what you know, right? You know what you know. And the way you feel at that point in time should not affect what you already know. It should not affect the steps that you should take. It's kind of like going to the gym. Like, you're going to the gym, like, and you're lifting weights. Let's say you're lifting like 50 kg. You're bench pressing 50 kg. And the next week, right, you want to up it to like 60 kg. The first 2 reps is like, it's killing you. It's like, physically, you can't take it, right? But you know what you're trying to get. You know what you're trying to achieve at the end, which is gains, right? Which is physical gains. You just have to push though. That's the point. Like, it's all about understanding that the way you feel at that point should never supersede what you should do. What is the right thing for you to do? When you look at the big picture, right? when you look ahead into the relationship, you're not just looking at the first like year or the first 6 months, and you're like, oh, if I leave her now, who would I have sex with next month? That's crazy. That's a simple way of thinking. Like, you can't think like that. So you need to understand that these are decisions that it'll hurt, right? Even if you have options in girls, it's still, if you like the girl, you go still miss them. Like, it's normal. Even if you have options in girls, you still miss a girl who you truly liked, right? But you feeling some type of way should never affect the way you act. It never should. So for your good, and for the girl's good too, because she's going to be getting bad energy if you pretend like you're happy and you stay. For both your goods, pack your bags and leave. Doesn't matter if she comes back. Doesn't matter when she comes back. The point is, that is always the right move to make. Every time. You feel me? Hope you guys liked the video. Make sure you pick up a thing or two from the Cash shop. 10% off on whatever it is you purchase with the discount code EYECHAP. EYECHAP. When I rush, go buy them. When I bought my own, I didn't have any discount. So you guys should enjoy it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. It go be.